Hey guys, today we are going to talk something really important for you guys. Something like you could do simple daily habits. We are gonna cover like 10 different daily habits that's going to change your life. You want to improve on something, or you wanted to have a life makeover, like anything that everybody needs a makeover, right? These days. So I think there's always a room for improvement on anybody's life. So that what we are going to cover today is in this episode is basically top 10 simple life habits. We call it life hacks sometimes. If you do those things on a daily basis, your life is going to change it, significantly. That's what we're going to give it to you. So Randy on the other side, he's going to
Yes.
actually follow up with me. I'm gonna start giving you those nuggets one by one. The first one is basically mini habits. Like you probably wondered, like you try to do something, you never like you probably done it first few days, and then after that you haven't followed up on that. You stop doing it. Just for example, like going to gym or drinking a fruit juice, or anything. It doesn't matter, right? So we have some strategy or tactics that you could use to make that happen. We call it mini habits, and it's kind of a popular term. Like if you just look for Google images or search for it, you get like so many different ways approaches people use. It's more of like a psychological treating your mind and telling the mind that you're going to do a simple thing like going to gym. Instead of going to gym, probably you'll just do 5 sit-ups, right? Just that's it, 5 sit-ups a day. You just start small. It's just like anything that you do in a larger scale. Your mind would be thinking that it's a huge task, and you cannot do it. You don't want to spend like 1 hour. So don't do that. Just do spend like 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes, or even 2 minutes, or even 1 minute. Like if you cannot do even 1 minute a day, that's then there is something wrong, right?
Right.
You just have to spend that 1 minute to do that task. Like anything, like journaling, anything. That I think you guys got the idea. So that's a mini habit. So you just do that. Anything that you want to accomplish, and it's not going good for you in life, just do a baby step, and the mini goals. You can just take a mini goals every day on a daily basis, right? And it's going like you're going to catch up eventually. It's going to grow within you, and then you're going to achieve your goal eventually. That's the goal of this mini habits.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next one is something like own your mind. It kind of follows up the mini habits that we talked about in the first place. It's just like you're trying to train your mind, and you're trying to like tell the mind that it's not really hard. How do you tell your mind, like any kind of task you're taking, like you wanted to apply for a new job, and you are scared, like that job requires so many things, right? But you have to tell your mind that it's not the case. But if you try to do this simple step by step approach, that step by step approach is basically you're trying to train your mind, and also using the mini habits, right? So it's kind of interlinked. These all, like we are going to talk about, all these things are interlinked. So you just basically use the mini habits to train your mind. And
Right.
once you train your mind, and you own your mind, you could do anything in the world, right?
Right.
So that's basically like we will be talking more about this in the future episodes.
It's
But this episode is just giving you all the overview of all the nuggets that you want to try in your day to day life.
so it's sounds like, Venkat, if I understood you correctly, and this for the for our viewers' knowledge. just to rephrase what you said, kind of summarize what you said, set up small goals, right? When you have a bigger goal, like you're going to the gym, like you said, sometimes, you get caught up with day-to-day lives and you cannot achieve it. So why not you just take a step back, right?
Right.
And then scale down your goals to something that's doable. So
Right,
half
exactly.
may not be doable.
Even start with a single step. You don't need to do even doable. Sometimes you get lazy. People get lazy and then don't do it afterwards.
Right.
So maybe start with even smaller, simple that baby can do it.
Exactly. And when you do those little do these things, even like 1 minute, 5 minutes a day, it becomes a habit. And
Exactly, right.
yeah, so that's the idea. If you don't try to take a step back and kind of minimize your goal, have the goal, but in like small scales. So that way, it becomes a habit, it becomes a good habit, and again, it actually aligns with our motto, health, wealth, and relationships. Eventually, it boils down to that. It affects your day-to-day lives, it affects your health, it affects your wealth, and it affects your relationships in the end. And you talked about training your mind. Is it like meditation? Is that something that you're talking about, kind of related to that, or?
Like, yeah, say for example, you have a lot of cookies in front of you, and there are a lot of chocolates in front of you, and you have a self-control that, like, you can visualize that if you eat that whole bowl of cookies every day, it's maybe one day is fine, but if your mind is saying that let's go ahead and eat that, but you have control over, right? Self-control, it's basically self-control over that. You can visualize the future impact on that, right? And same thing with whatever you say to the people, like in terms of relationship, right? Before you say it, your mind wanted to say something bad, but you process it inside your mind because you own your mind, and then the mind says that don't say that, so you have control. It's like a baby versus adults, like kids versus adults. Kids might say something because they don't have that control too much.
True.
But once you become adult and mature, you should have that control, but it's not the case with everybody, right? So
Yeah.
that exactly, that training mind is basically, once you train your mind, you could do anything. Like you could tell your mind, you're going to work 10 hours today.
Yeah.
You can work it out, because you trained your mind in such a way that it's inherent, right? It's inherent. It's already there. It's pushing you to do the job. So
Only you can take control of your own mind, right? No one else. So you're
right.
you're in control. So yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, that's exactly the second habits that you guys can daily just cultivate your mind with the positive thoughts, and with the visualization of impacts, like anything that you do, it could be a positive impact, like if you do this today, if you do this tomorrow, if you do this day after, you're going to go there. Like you have that visualization within your mind. So mind, you are kind of telling, mind is like a baby. You're telling the baby that don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, and do this, do this, do this, right? So you train your kids same way you're training your mind and get the things done.
Yep.
So let's move on to the third one. Third one is decluttering. So this is something like everybody has to deal with, right? So starting from their desk, right, working desk, the computers, are even the phone apps, right? They might have hundreds of apps. They don't even use 10 of them.
Right.
So there could be files everywhere, and it's the house is dirty, it's because things are everywhere. But you may not even use only 90% of the stuff you may not even use, right? So think about it. If you don't use anything more than a year or 2 years,
That means you don't need it.
right, you don't need it, right? Exactly. You don't need it, give it away.
Yeah.
What I normally do, you can talk about what you do, right? I normally do is take it into, sell it. First, I try to salvage it, get the money for it, right? Money back for it. I'll get some profit. Sometimes you can get profit, or you could do donate it. If it's not donatable worthy, you could just throw it away or recycle it.
Yeah, most of us do is we think that we are going to be using it, but without even realizing you're going to be keeping it forever. And you all you do is you just clutter yourself, clutter your house, and eventually it looks like a mess because you have so much stuff, so many things that you really don't need. What you said was it's a great thing. Either you sell it and make a profit out of it,
Right.
right? Another point that we often discuss in our episodes, or just donate it. I mean, just at least do a good merit, good deed out of it. So yeah, declutter. It's not just if it's not just you're cluttering your house or cluttering your desk or whatever. It's even cluttering your mind too. So why not
Exactly, right.
take them? Yeah, just clean your mind, declutter your mind, and declutters your house and everything. So stay away from that. Just again, if you can make a profit out of it, great. If not, donate it. Declutter. Great advice, Venkat. Thanks.
Right. So I would say, like, sometime, like, yeah, like you said, like, mind refreshes. If your desk is clean, you do a better job. And that's exactly like what you have to do. Sometimes what I normally do, like, if you think that you're not decluttering on a weekly basis or daily basis, I normally look at just spend like 5 minutes a day. Just spend 5 minutes. You can put it in your phone. Just 5 minutes in the morning. Just remove things around and move things around and throw stuff, and that's all you have to do. Just in
Yeah.
the morning is a better time for me, but it could be a better time. You might have a different time that's better for you.
Right.
Let's move on to the next one. So what these are like, basically you have to make it a routine, because these are like small jobs, right? Every day you are micro jobs, and it's just added into your schedule or daily schedule, and that way it's there. Like, it become a routine, it become a ritual for you, and you're not going to forget it. Like, if you don't do it, you might be thinking, oh, I didn't do that, and then you go ahead and do it. So it kind of become a habit, right? That's exactly what we are trying to push it on you. It'll help you. So the next one is right after you get up, drink warm water, and not only that, like, drink warm water throughout the day. Our body is like 98.6 degree temperature. Think about so you're putting maybe 10 degree, not 10 degree, like something like 40 degree, 50 degree, or even iced water, right? It's like 30, sometimes it could be 32 degree, right? Less than that. So you're putting that into your body, and think about our body is like an oven inside, right? And
Yeah.
our body has to work a lot. And but if you take the warm water around 80 degree, 70
That,
degree, or
that's pretty much closer to your body temperature, so it would
exactly.
be like, yeah. Okay.
And it actually helps. There are so many studies out there. It actually helps to clean out. Like, think about your hose, dirty hose. You're putting the cold water in there, and then it might remove some dirt. But if you are putting hot water in there, or really warm water, it's going to remove more stuff out of it. So that's exactly like fat deposits or anything inside your alimentary canal, or anything that goes through water goes through, right? So it's going to remove any kind of excess fatty deposits or any kind of blockage, right? So it actually helps you reduce your toxins in the body. There are a lot
Okay.
of studies out there, and it's good for you to do it in the morning.
And Venkat, is that true that I've seen some people try a lemon, like a hint of lemon in your.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly true. Like, there are so many studies as well on the lemon juice. What happens, even though lemon is citric acid, once it goes into the body, it becomes alkaline. It alkalinizes the body.
Okay.
So alkaline the body is better for healthiness.
Okay.
More
Okay.
alkaline is better in terms of pH.
Oh,
More acidic is not better for
gotcha.
every part of the body has a different pH.
Hmm.
Like I'm talking about the blood streams and everything, and the stomach is acidic, but like it no the overall, like if you take an apple cider vinegar, which is actually becomes alkalinized the body, so it's actually good for it cures so many diseases because of it alkalinized the body.
And also, I've heard that some people think that, okay, you have to drink this much of water per day, and they try to do it at once. I think it's advisable to kind of break it. I've seen, oh man, you know what? I got to drink at least 3 liters or 4 liters or whatever, and they try to do half of it at the same time.
That's
I don't think that's advisable, right, Venkat? I mean, you have 24 hours in a day.
right. 8 glass
I,
of water, 24 hours. Yeah, that's about right. Because our body contains like almost 70% water, I think.
right.
Right. So you need to like it evaporates, right?
Yeah.
Like plants evaporates, you have to pour water, and we are not going to be wilted. Like it will
Right.
take a long time to become wilted, not like plants, right? So
Yeah.
we do need water like frequently.
And also, if you're not a heavy water drinker, like I'm not a very big fan of drinking water, like myself, like I admit it, but I try to do it by doing one thing. I try to take two 500 milliliter bottles to work, and I put it right in front of my desk. So I remember, like, I see it, and towards the end of the day, I think, I at least feel like drinking if there's anything left in there because I feel good. And if I don't see it on my desk, I wouldn't be drinking at all because I'm not a huge fan. So if you're not a huge fan of drinking water, at least take a couple of water bottles and put it right in front of you. If you're going to work, just put it right in front of your desk so you at least see and you feel like drinking.
Right,
So I
right.
think
That's a
that's
good point. Yeah, yeah. And
yeah, and
also another point is to add some lemon or the cucumber or mint in
oh,
your water. Just soak it overnight and then filter that water into a bottle. It actually helps to reduce weight too. Like if you
oh,
drink that water for a
very good.
month, you will feel you are reducing your weight.
Okay.
So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. So next one is kind of everybody knows this, but nobody does it as much as we should do it. Like it's reading,
Yeah.
right? So reading,
Uh,
it's reading is a great way to gain knowledge, right? So think about like people write all these things, 100,000 pages book. That's probably from 10 years of their life, right? It's not like one day they sit down and they wrote 1,000 pages of book. 10 years of the experience right in that book. And same way, like maybe 100 pages or 10 pages book. All those are like several years worth of experience or tidbits in there, right? So you don't have to face through the future life, uh, you know, going through all the hardships that they already have an answer for it in the books. So they already know, like they already figured out how to tackle those problems. Like for example, if you want to get a better career, right? There's somebody already. There are thousands of books, but there are like few books that are good books that you
mhm.
could pick up and read it, and then you know about it right away. Like within like how fast you can read, then you'll know about it, right? So
Right.
that's the beauty of having books, reading books. And I do have a couple of tips. Then I will let you share your thoughts. Like I think what I normally do before going to bed, like 30 minutes, I read, and I read throughout the day in my phone. So I think because everyone have their phone, just install a few apps in there that are like Goodreads. There's one app, and then you can add all those PDF books to it. If you any kind of PDF books that you get it from online or anywhere, just add it to the bookshelf. There's a bookshelf. Just add it there and then check out one by one and read it. Or you could do the Kindle books, right?
Mm, yeah.
Everybody have Kindle now. So you can buy the 60, 70, $80 that annual membership that covers the Kindle Unlimited
Mhm.
from Amazon. So just use that feature, right? And then just use your phone or you could use a Fire Kindle Fire e-reader. That's like $60, and that has like a 10 days worth of battery, so you can keep reading for 10 days. If you're traveling, you can just have like hundreds of books in there, and then just keep reading. You don't have to take your books with you, right?
Yeah.
So those are some of the perks that I just wanted to give you guys.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are in a world where technology is advancing, and a lot of advancements are happening every day, right? And but still, if you are old school like myself, you always have the option of getting a book and read it just as it is. And some people are very, very much into Kindle, and reading things on the app, reading things on the internet, on the phone, like the news articles, journals on the phone. But some people may not be tech savvy or tech driven, so they can always just do the old school way that I do. And one point again, when kids, something again going back to my earlier point, drinking water thing. You put those water, whatever you want to drink or eat, put it somewhere that you see. And I do this too for reading books, because again, I was not really into reading. Let me put it that. So what I do is I put books on the shelf. So whenever I right beside the television, so the moment I switch on the TV, I see the book there. So it kind of gives me kind of motivation, because I see the title of the book. I'm a little selective when it comes to reading books. So I only read certain types of books. Sometimes it's more like towards, if it's a kind of crime related thing, I would read that. Detective series. Those are the kind of books that I would like to read and I'd like to watch. So if you're selective, that's good too. As long as you read something, you learn something out of it. If you like to read a certain type of books, just put it somewhere that you see every day, and I feel like it worked for me. Again, right, Venkat, we are
Right.
sharing
Everybody's
things
different.
for us. Everyone is different. Things work for us, may not work for someone, but these are the things that work for us. So I used to do that, and it worked. Again, if you're not like a born reader, like really into reading, you can do little things like that, and it becomes a habit.
Right. Right.
So that's the point. And again, you might come up with your own ideas, own ways of motivating yourself. This is the way that I did. So great advice, Venkat, again. Yep, thank you.
Right. One last point on that is basically if you're having difficulty reading, and you don't know, you never get to that habit of reading. These days that Audible, right? Audible, there's the
Oh.
listening. So what I found out was I'm not a good listener, but I somehow like to listen to the audiobooks,
Oh.
right? Audiobooks, and then it's so fast. And while I'm walking on the treadmill, while I'm maybe jogging, or sometimes some days I jog, and during that time I just listen to those in the iPad, right? Just
Yeah.
in front of me. So it just helps to do it in a different ways, but the same concept, right? You are getting the ideas. You don't have to read a book to get the gist of what is in there. You can actually listen also. So we have like 5 senses, right? So basically, you don't have to use your eyes. You can use your ears to
Yes,
get
to
those
read.
thoughts into your mind. So
Exactly.
there's a reason way. It's like that's going to help you definitely.
And again, one point, just one last point, Venkat. It's like killing two birds with one stone, right? You're getting the workout at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
That,
getting
I didn't
the
think about that. Right, right,
knowledge,
right. That's
health and also wealth of knowledge
right.
at the same time.
Right. And also you may not even realize that you're jogging, or because
Yep.
you're listening,
Yep.
your body is listening. So that's
Absolutely.
good. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next one is something like really hard to do for most of us. At least for me, it was really hard in the beginning. But it's wake up early. Like waking up early. Something happens during that 4 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It's all those earth atmosphere. It releases a lot of good things because it's everything is kind of during the daytime, all the sun comes in, everything being absorbed by the earth. earth cores, and then it's being like, there is a reaction going on, and in the morning until like 8-10 hours there is no sunlight, right? So in like around 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, there's always something like, good vibes are coming up from the
Right.
earth. So it's better to, and also in your mind, like you sleep early and then you try to wake up 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That's kind of a sweet time for mental peacefulness. And also a lot of people who are waking up early, they reduce the weights. Their weights are less because they go into bed early.
Right.
And they're eating like earlier. Sometimes they're eating like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, and going to bed like 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
So there's like there's a chemistry to it, and also biology to it, and also physics to it, right? It's basically all these components are coming together to help you to achieve your goals. Like if you're trying to wake up 4 to 5, that is going to help you. That's just, but how do you make it happen? Like, just go early. Don't drink coffee, tea. Like if something that's bothering you to go too early to bed,
Hmm.
just stop those things. Just say no to those,
Hmm.
and that's what it's going to help you. And again, like do it like don't try to achieve like 5 o'clock, right? If you are waking up 8 o'clock, let's say, I would say 7:30, 7:45. I want to wake up tomorrow 7:45. Just
Right.
keep a small goal again.
Yep.
15 minutes early, and then do it for 1 week, and then do another 15 minutes early next week.
Right.
Just keep going backwards and
Yeah.
to achieve your goal.
And is there a thing like you have to do something for like 21 days continuously, Venkat? Is there a science behind it, or is it just a saying? You have to do something for 21 days consistently in order for it to become a habit, kind of thing. Is there a science behind it?
There's no science, because most of a psychological thing. Like
Oh.
if 21 days is like anything that, yeah, that's a good point. Like 21 days, if you keep doing something, it
Mhm.
becomes a habit in you. Like that's a human kind,
Okay.
human
Okay.
nature. So that is exactly. I think it's based on the studies that people have done. Like think
Okay.
about, like if you're doing it continuously every day for 21 days,
Yeah, it should
your
become a
body,
habit.
you get used to it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. So let's move on to the next one. Yeah, next one is pretty interesting. Like, so you always want to eat a lot of fruits, veggies, a lot of good healthy stuff.
Hmm.
But all the healthy stuff doesn't taste good, right? Most of the healthy stuff doesn't taste
Right.
good. So like you kind of avoid those things.
Yeah.
So this is something that I discovered myself. That when you're watching a favorite show, like say you're watching some favorite show, you don't eat like baby carrots. Let's say, for example, you don't eat baby carrots whole bag, but you put it in a bowl, just leave it there, and then start watching, and
Yeah.
you'll be just eating that. Your mind is focused on the TV show
Yeah.
or your show, whatever your favorite show, and then you're
Like,
eating. You finish already, like in 10, 30
no
minutes you
time.
finish.
And it's pretty much like people when you're on the treadmill, when you're running like 7 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour, your body feels it. But that's why people used to have their iPods on, because
Right.
in order to kind of compensate or mitigate the stress that you're feeling when you're running so hard on the treadmill. So it's pretty much like, I'm gonna try that, Venka. That's a very
Right.
good point.
Yeah, it works. It works.
It,
Definitely works.
I'm gonna give it a shot, because most of us, what we do is, when you're watching, like you said, when you're watching your favorite TV show, movie, a sports channel, or whatever, we try to eat a lot of junk.
Right.
Right? I eat a lot of junk, and then we have a beer or Coke, or if you're a Coke drinker, and all kinds of sugar and junky food, fatty food you're taking while watching your favorite things on the TV.
Right. Right.
And instead of that, it's a great way. You just have some vegetables, and in no time, by the time the show is over, you're done with your healthy vegetable too. And I'm gonna give you
Exactly.
a shot. It's a great advice.
Yeah, I guess you guys should try this with something nasty thing that you don't like at all, but it's
Hmm.
really healthy.
Healthy.
Just try it out, like kale, like eating kale, fresh
Right.
kale or celery, right? you don't even know it. Like, just believe me. Just
At least
try
if
it.
you like it, you're at least enjoying the show that you're watching, right? It's not like you're
Right.
trying to put a whole lot of things that you don't like, but you're compensating that with watching something that you like. So yeah, why
Right.
not give it a shot?
And that is kind of we are training our mind also, and this is like this comes into play like a own your mind kind of thing.
Hmm.
It's like in the beginning you probably don't like that food. Like let's say you keep doing this every day, you are eating celery
Right.
while watching your TV, and then your body get used to it after
Yeah.
let's say three weeks, that 21-day period, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you really want to eat celery every day, just try this three methods. Like watch your favorite show,
Right.
get that celery in you, and then and then
Right.
start eating, right?
Yeah.
And you would actually, you own your mind. You will also eat the healthy food and create that mini habits that that's going to help you eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. This one is kind of a very necessary. Like everybody is aging, right? People are every day. We're adding, one day shorter to the graveyard, right? Like, so,
That's
uh,
true. I
yeah.
that a quick one went good. A friend of mine when I that was 4 years ago when I wished him for on his birthday. He said, "What is there to celebrate? We are just 1 year closer to death." I mean,
That's true, exactly. Yeah.
it's a
So,
little it's a little deep, but that's true, right?
right. So just keep that thought. Everybody is aging. Everybody is going to die. But think about like because of the aging process in our body, the muscles are like your muscles probably was okay before, but you started feeling tension in your muscles sometime because you're doing desk jobs 8 hours, 10 hours a day, and so think about what is like if muscles are like in one position all the time throughout the day.
Right.
What can you do for it? Like you basically have to do it in an opposite direction, right? Like if you're sitting in chairs like this, so try to go bend in the opposite direction.
So,
That's basically stretches that muscle.
mhm.
So you don't need to even know what to do. Basically, you just like whatever you're doing the whole day throughout the day in your body, just do it the opposite. Like if you want to do, you can bend your leg up, leg up, foot up.
Okay.
Take your foot up on the backside, and then bend your body or go this way, or just look for Google stretching. So this is this part that it's called stretching, right? Like stretching of your neck, your shoulder, your back, or your. So what it does is basically keeps your muscles healthy, right?
Yeah, like
And
you said, there are so many Google images, Google videos on how to maintain the correct posture because, like you said, 8 hours is one third of the day, right? And it
right,
really matters that correct posture is maintained for 8 hour period. So if you're going to be sitting in a chair like that, like you're sitting, like I'm sitting right now for an 8 hour period, it's gonna definitely ruin you, like you're ruin your health. So why not take some moments to read some Google. There, like you said, there are so many good Google reviews, Google videos, Google journals on
mm-hmm,
that. So
mm-hmm.
take a moment and read them and follow them. Actually, I do that in every 45 minutes. Like I don't know whether 45 minutes is too long to be seated in one posture, but I try to do that. But is there a time limit on that? Like a general time limit?
Oh no, like like they every day, like few minutes. If you just stretch it out, like in the morning, I think morning is a good time, and then also before in the evening, like just stretch because you're kind of getting up early.
Yeah.
You probably need to like kind of stretch out this
So,
and
yeah.
stretch your neck.
Oh yeah.
We will go through some of these
Yeah.
10 different stretches in the
Right.
future session, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
going to help the viewers.
Going to be
Uh,
showing you that.
Right. So let's move on to the next one. So we just got two more to do.
Hmm.
The next one is it's something that everybody has to do. It, it's like a to-do list. Like everybody knows that to-do list you need to create. Probably you have created sometime, or you're creating every day or every month, or you're just creating once a year during the New Year time.
Yeah, right.
You're just having a New Year goals.
Yeah.
So if you are that type of person, like say once a year you create it, and then you try to follow it for a month, and then you just forget about it, and because it's already January is over, then you're kind of
Right.
just enjoying your life, not really focused on it. So the do you have something to say?
No, yeah, no, that's a great point, Venkat. That's something I've been practicing for some time now. And what I do is it doesn't have to be really confined to your work, right? At work, yes, I have like a Word document that I keep. Okay, so this is what I have to do for this week. It can be weekly goals, it can be monthly goals. And what I do is I think this is really important, that something that my father actually taught me is once you're done with a particular task, just strike it or just color
Mm-hmm.
it in green or psychological. One thing is it's psychologically really it feels awesome when you see your task list going like down by one and it's green. When it's green, you know that it's done. You feel that self satisfaction. You
Right,
even
right.
small thing. Sometimes I used to put things like I have to do at home, to make
Mm-hmm.
breakfast or make dinner or go out or make a plan to go to Vegas or whatever. I mean, I'm just coming out with some ideas. And even little things like that, I'm putting on a piece of paper, like on a Word document. And when I strike it, I feel awesome. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna give the same satisfaction or even more to yourself. Like you do it and you feel it. Believe me, it works. It feels absolutely awesome. And also one thing I really want to point out, Venkat, is take a moment to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate, right? Take a moment to celebrate when you achieve something, even a small task.
Mm-hmm.
You take after a week, if you set up weekly goals or monthly goals, you see those green or strikes across those goals. I think at the end of the week or at the end of the month, take a moment to celebrate. It can be, going out with your family or watch a movie, something, because most of us, what we do is we get caught up with things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
we are happy, we get things done, we move on to the next goal or whatever. No, I think you should take a step back, take a moment to celebrate yourself, celebrate your
Yeah,
achievement,
treat yourself, right?
treat yourself. That's
Right.
what I'm looking for. Treat yourself.
Right.
Otherwise, we have only one life that you're gonna remember. Uh, you may live 60 years, 75 years, or whatever. And at the end of 75 years, all you've done was achieve goals or achieve this and that, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. You haven't
It's a
celebrated your
rat
life
race,
at all.
right? It's mostly
Yeah,
most of the people go in a
yeah,
rat race. Uh,
there you go.
right.
Yeah,
Just
that's
wait.
exact.
Stop in between
Yeah,
and look back and see what you accomplished, right? And
absolutely.
just pat on your back,
Yeah,
and then just that encourage yourself. That'll encourage
absolutely.
your mind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Just a point to
Yeah,
note.
yeah, definitely, yeah. And for the to-do list, I have something like you could use Google Calendar, which is getting really popular. Everybody like a collaborative. Let's say you're collaborating with your family or your friends, or there is a team. Like you could use a Google Calendar, a collaborative one, so other people can see it.
Yeah, Google. Yeah, so if you're like, you can do either the Word document thing or Google Calendar, even a simple whiteboard thing. I've
Right.
seen people put up a whiteboard, like a small whiteboard kind of thing on a refrigerator, like a magnetic whiteboard thing, because it's easy. Anyone can see it. And so when you're a family, it's kind of sometimes you get caught up with things. You might not have time to go to your computer and save a Word
No.
document,
Right.
calendar. But if it's easier for you, just take a small whiteboard and put your task list and just
Yeah, something like this will work.
there
Like
you
you
go. Just
basically,
yeah,
yeah, just write on your desk, and you just write it down and leave it there. So you kind of it kind of reminds you, like you know it inside
yeah,
of you, but like you don't like at the same time you don't know it. You
yeah,
don't like this just
right,
happens with everybody. Just don't
yeah,
think that you're not doing your job. So, but it happens with, I think what happened with me, like I used to do that writing, but even with the writing, sometimes I fail, right? Like I don't look at it sometimes. So
Yeah.
what I did was I put a reminder in my phone, daily reminder. Every day, 6 o'clock, it tells me to do this. I
Yeah.
get a reminder, and then if I don't do it, I just it'll remind me again.
True.
So
Yeah.
I just snooze it for 2 hours and then
Yeah.
remind me again. It's
I
two
do that
hours.
with Outlook
Right,
reminders. It comes.
right. So
Yeah.
these are some of the new things. Like take advantage of everything, leverage everything that you have in front of you,
Yeah.
and just that way at least you're using your all the tools out there, right? It's not going wasted, and just use it for your advantage, right?
Yeah.
That's how you grow.
Yeah.
Your make it easier for you. Automate the things,
Correct.
right? Okay, yeah. This is the last one, guys. So this I think like you talked about celebrating yourself and your achievements. This is something on that scale. Like some most people I notice, like half of the people, I would say, not most, half of them are looking backwards, right?
Mm.
Half of them looking future. So those are all for like they indulge in their past, like something bad happened, right? Just one incident of bad thing happened out
Yeah.
of thousand incidents. They did a good thing,
Yeah.
and that one incident it's always there in their mind. It's always lingering in their mind, and it's affecting their mind because they are always looking for the past, looking into the past. And other group of people is like they just they just ignore, like it happened to them, similar thing happened to similar thing happens to everybody, right? So it
Yeah.
just everybody goes up and down,
Mhm.
and then it happened to them. But these group of people, their mindset is different. Their future, they think about future, and sometimes they may think about present,
Right.
what is happening currently. There may be another group that they only think about present. They don't
Mhm.
think about past. They don't think about future, right? So just think a little bit. If you are the person that like you need to analyze yourself, like why these things, bad things are happening. Why is this really a bad thing, or like all those things? And then think about, if you're a one that thinking always past, just stop thinking about it, right? Because what good thing can happen thinking about that, right? It nothing. All the worst thing is basically going to happen because your present, whatever you're living at this time, is going to ruin, and then you because of that, your future is going to ruin. So because your past has ruined a little bit, or most of it ruined, it you shouldn't like let down and just sit there and not do anything and just always think about it. The main thing is just try to just have a positive thought about the present and the future,
You
right?
can only control your present, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
only control your present, and there's
And
no point.
you can still control the future, because everything is happening, like we talked about baby step, right? If you do those steps, your future is going to evolve into it.
Right.
You have
But
some
there's no
control,
point looking back, though, right? You
right?
can only think. I think it's only advisable to look in the past if you want to learn something out of something happened in the past, right? So
Right,
there's.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, any
Yeah.
experience, like guys, any experience is bad, like good experience. So even
Yeah.
if it's a bad experience,
Yeah.
just take it, like learn, like what lessons you can learn. Like if you try to repeat the same problems in the future, then it's bad.
Yeah.
Just so you know why it happened, and don't try to repeat that. Just
Right.
learn it and stop. Train your mind, own your thoughts, and just keep moving, pushing yourself, and use these all the strategies that we talked about, right? All the
Yeah.
strategies and tactics that we told you. So it's basically like let's recap. Can we recap, Randy?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's
Yeah.
just, I'm gonna just say the topics that we talked about today, right? It's like a mini habits, right? Mini habits. The first one. Next one is own your mind. Declutter. Drink warm water throughout the day, especially in the morning. And read books. If you cannot read, do the audiobooks. And wake up early, like between 4 to 5 p.m. and also try to do it slowly, 15 minutes backwards than whatever you're waking up currently, so that you're not pushing yourself.
Mhm.
And if you wanted to eat something healthy food that you don't like it, but you want to eat them, and just eat them during while watching those favorite shows in your TV.
That's a good.
The eighth one is stretching. Like try to stretch as much as possible in your body, all the body from top head to toe, in a other direction than what is throughout the day. If you are in one side of it, you just do it in other side of it. That's basically stretching. And then the ninth one is create a to-do list. It could be a daily list or a weekly list, but try to be weekly, daily, not like a monthly. You're going to, you're not going to, make it in a track. If you try to do it weekly or daily, it's going to be in a track, right? You're continuously watching it. Right. And the last one is the ignore the past and move on, and make the present and the future better.
Yep. There you go. Wow.
Right. Yeah. So these are the 10 things, guys, that we have it for you, and just let us know if you have anything else that you wanted. You do it, but we haven't included here. That's going to help the viewers. Just comment below, and also if you if you want us to talk about some other topics in the future, just comment below. And otherwise, thanks for stopping, and like our videos and subscribe our channel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just want to add one thing to add, Venkat. These are just things that we've tried, right? Mm-hmm. We tried, and things that work for us. Again, like we always say, like you said today, share with us any stories, anything that we haven't included here but worked for you. Feel free to share that idea in the comment box or anything. That's the only way that we can spread the word around. We can improve ourselves, and we can learn from you guys too, just like we are trying to do to you guys. Again, thank you for watching us, and we're going to be doing a lot more episodes on each of these topics in the future. And until then, goodbye from me and my pal on the other side, Venkat.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.